Alright, this is a scrub only video for showing how to use the Drell Infiltrator with very much noob setups. Basically, I'm only going to be using common weapons, no equipment at all, and I'm only going to be using the piercing mod with no extra bonuses because my Avenger is already at 10. The reason I'm doing this is because it's important for people to be effective on higher difficulties and whatnot without actually using OP setups or falling back on things like the Juggernaut, which I absolutely hate. So for this I'm picking Firebase White, Geth Bronze, and I'm just going to do a solo to show you the effectiveness of his powers over the effectiveness of his weapons. He's great at both, but this is the advantage he has over things like the GI. Show you my powers real quick. Basically, since I'm not using a sniper, I only went 4 ranks, all damage, and tactical cloak. Homing grenade, I went damage over time, and then split. The reason I like split is because Dragoon squads, they don't miss ever, so the homing grenades do a great job against the Dragoons. Recon Mine, I spec it for damage, radius, and lastly I do invasive scan because that 25% extra damage is really important, especially when you're not doing any damage at all. Okay, and for the passives I went weapon damage, power damage, and weapon damage again. It gives a great bonus, only bested by the Turians. And usually I like taking full fitness for the movement speed bonus in all Drell classes, but for this I am going only 4 ranks. So let's start it up and we'll get to see the lovely Xbox waiting times. Alright, the reason I chose Firebase White was because it gives me the advantage of showing the 2 different ways Recon Mine can be used. First, I'll start off with the normal way of using it that most people fall back on, and that's laying it down and waiting for enemies to come into cover before you detonate it, or using that for the invasive scan damage bonus. The reason I go on the first rank for the area scan is because it's just a lot easier when you're running away. And now I'm going to show you a little more. Just going to sit back and wait for the Geth to get in here. I remember back in the day they were doing the weekend challenges, and they required one, I think it was get 3 kill streaks in a game, and this is one of the ways I showed people they could do it. It was really simple. Recon Mine can hit up to 5 at a time, so if you get all 5 in the recon blast at one time, you can get a kill streak just from 1 recon blast on bronze. It's really easy, takes no work at all, and with how weak they are on bronze, you can hide back here, you can see them through the cover, and you have absolutely nothing to worry about. It helps with the Drell squishiness. Later on, I'll be showing the other advantages of using the Recon Mine for non-camping purposes. But for now, I'm just going to show off Drell superiority. Make sure you always cloak while using Recon Mine. It negates that really high time that it takes to recharge. And here's the other part that comes in handy. When you're under cover, or under fire rather, and you just really don't know what to do, you can always blow Recon Mine because it's going to be a forced stagger. Another advantage like that. That's again one of the things that I feel like he has a big advantage on the GI, because he can cause a whole bunch of panic while doing very little work. You can do it through walls, you can do it wherever you're at. It's much better than, you know, say using a javelin where you have to either see them, or you're using a javelin through the covers, so you can only hit one target anyway, or if they're in line, multiple. But it's not nearly as effective as Recon Mine for staggering. Oh, you can see my group right there, and boom. 1 kill streak, just like I said. Alright, that was my first time using the homing grenades. I'm not really a fan of homing grenades. I find very little purpose for them. If you have good weapons, they end up actually lowering your overall damage. That's why I don't use them very often, but they can be great for staggering. And like I said, Dragoons, that's really all I find advantage on. Unless you're using an up-close weapon like the Raider, or something of that sort. And then you have a medium-range weapon that you can fall back on. Alright, as soon as this wave is done, I'm going to show you one of the other ways of using Recon Mine, where you're actually using it more like people use the Drell Adept, and you're rushing spawns. It's really effective, especially on team games. And as you can see, I can see the spawn up there, and boom, lay another one out. And there's a spawn down. Now, I can see with the recon behind me that nobody is coming up behind me. That's another advantage when you're going after the spawns. And now, boom. Okay, and detonate. Recon mine, grenade, and detonate. Just like that. Takes no work at all. I'll be doing a pug game sometime soon where I do it exactly like this. I'll use a little bit better weapons, maybe a Mad Talk or something of the sort. But I will only be using powers with no amps or anything. I might use a gear bonus because you should be using gear on there since it's free. And detonate. 2 kill streaks. Almost no work. And I'm using common weapons. For those who think that the Drell are just too sticky, you need to take it to their advantages. Their advantages are high stagger rates, that you can stagger lots of enemies on all the Drell classes. Reeve is a area of effect stagger as well as Recon Mine. And cluster grenades do an excellent job. So you need to focus on, instead of facing enemies one-on-one, you need to time their staggers. They can only be staggered once every few seconds, but that's plenty of time for you to get away. And also, for those who don't know, when you're dodging like this back and forth, each time you're doing the dodge, you actually get a 50% damage reduction. So take that to your advantage if you didn't go with a fitness. And boom, just like that, target down. And let's see if I can get this one in here. And boom, nope, missed it. Target down again. All you have to do is keep moving, and you're going to be good with the Drell. That's one of the things that people aren't quite used to when they come from other classes, is you always have to move. If you don't move, you're going to die. That's pretty much as simple as it gets. Unless, of course, you're using something else like Fire-Based Giant and you're camping. You could probably out-damage them before they get to you, but even then you're still gonna have